Hello everyone and welcome to Japanese Conversation. My name's James and today we're going to learn how to order food in a restaurant. Japan is famous for its picture menus, which you can find pretty much everywhere. Just point out and order. What if you go to a local place and you don't know how to order food? Let's figure out how to do it today. This is the Hako Cafe, a local restaurant that I love to come to. Let's go in and find out how we order food.
こんにちは。いらっしゃいませ。どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。メニューになっておりますが、お決まりになりましたら声かけてください。はい。
Okay, so this is the menu. We can see drinks, alcohol, food. I'm going to order a coffee. Let's have a look what we got here. Blend coffee, iced coffee, Earl Grey紅茶. I think I'm going to go for the iced coffee. すいません。
はい。
アイスコーヒーを一つください。はい。
はい。アイスコーヒーを一つ。はい。はい。以上でよろしいですか。はい。はい。少々お待ちください。
お会計お願いします。
はい。ありがとうございます。
Hey, Japanese conversation lesson time. My name is Jason, and now I want to take a closer look at what we just saw. When James walked into the restaurant, he was greeted with the phrase, "Irashaimase." Let's take a listen.
こんにちは。いらっしゃいませ。
Irashaimase is a common way to welcome customers in Japan. Some places like Starbucks have started using konnichiwa in recent years, but irashaimase, or its abbreviated form irashai, is still commonly heard everywhere from sushi shops to hotels to even malls. After James sits down, the waiter shows him the menu and asks him to call him when he decides what he wants. In Japanese, the word for decide is kimari, kimari, and the word for call someone in this situation is koekake, koekake. See if you can catch those two words, and also please listen for what James says in response.
ありがとうございます。メニューになっておりますが、お決まりになりましたら声かけてください。はい。
Now, hi is an interesting Japanese word. In English, it's usually translated as yes, but in fact, the meaning of hi can change depending on the context. For example, it can be used to confirm you've understood something. As in English, we would say okay, or all right, or got it. And in fact, that's exactly how James used it here. When the waiter said, "Call me when you've decided," James confirmed he understood what the waiter was saying by saying, "Hi." Later, when the waiter confirms James's order for an iced coffee, James confirms that with "hi." And lastly, when the waiter asks James if that's all he wants to order, the waiter leads into the question with "hi," and James responds yes by saying "hi." Here, check this out.
はい。以上でよろしいですか。はい。はい。少々お待ちください。
All told, the word "hi" was used 8 times while James was in the restaurant.
はい。
はい。
はい。はい。はい。
はい。
It's a useful word, keep it in mind. Next, I want to take a look at how James ordered his drink. In English, he said, "1 coffee, please." But let's listen to the Japanese and then take a closer look at that.
アイスコーヒーを一つください。はい。
James said, "Ice coffee o hitotsu kudasai." That means, literally, ice coffee, 1, please. When you order food in a Japanese restaurant, this sentence will help your server understand you most clearly. Say the thing you want, the number, kudasai. Now, today we're just going to study the number for 1, which in this case is hitotsu. And you might feel it's a little bit strange that James told the waiter he only wants 1 iced coffee, because maybe you feel it's kind of obvious. But in fact, we do the same thing in English with the word a. Now, in Japanese, they don't have words for a or the, so it's necessary in places like restaurants to say exactly how many of a thing you want, even if you only want 1 of those things. Okay, so let's try practicing this language a bit. I have a couple of consumable items here that you might get on a trip to Japan, and I want you to try ordering one of them, starting with this delicious cup of hot coffee, in Japanese. Please think of the language that we just saw James use. Remember, he said the name of the thing, then "o hitotsu kudasai." Alright, let's start with this. In Japanese, this is a hot coffee. Hot coffee. Ready? Here we go. Hot coffee o hitotsu kudasai. Hot coffee o hitotsu kudasai. Now, on to some food. Japan, of course, is famous for ramen. This is my favorite chili tomato ramen. In Japanese, the correct pronunciation is ramen. Ramen. Are you ready? Ramen, お一つください. Ramenを一つください. Did you get it? And one more. This is a rice ball, Japanese rice ball. They're everywhere, they're very good, and I recommend you try some if you ever come over here. In Japanese, this is called an onigiri. Onigiri. So, think about the Japanese, and ready? Onigiri, お一つください. Onigiri, お一つください. Onigiri, お一つください. How'd you do? Good? You can rewind and practice as many times as you need until the phrase お一つください starts to feel more natural and just rolls off your tongue. お一つください. 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 Now, lastly, I want to focus on what James says when he's finished drinking his coffee. He needs to ask for the check or the bill. Now, the word for this in Japanese is okaike. Okaike. And he asks for this politely by using another word for please. This word is お願いします. お願いします. Let's listen.
お会計お願いします。
はい、ありがとうございます。
お会計お願いします. Now, before, when James was ordering his food, he used a different word for please that we studied, kudasai. We're not going to get into the differences between these two words here, but if you're interested, we've provided a link in the description below, so check it out if you like. Well, thank you very much. We hope that you enjoyed our little Japanese roleplay lesson today, where we showed you how we usually order food at a restaurant in Japan. Today you learned the word irashaimase is used to welcome customers into shops, that the word hype is small but very useful and can change its meaning depending on the context, that you can order an item off a restaurant menu by saying the name of the thing, を一つください. And we saw James do this when he ordered an iced coffee by saying アイスコーヒーを一つください. And you learned that when you want to ask for the check, you say お会計お願いします. One last thing, for homework, I want you to think of your favorite Japanese food and how you would order that in a restaurant in Japanese. Try writing your order in the comments below. To answer, you can either use Japanese characters or the alphabet. Alright, good luck, have fun, and see you next class.